My wife got pregnant by my own younger brother. I'm 39 male, been married to my wife's third to sixth female for 15 years. I also have a son 13, my family consists of mom 58, dad 62, sister 30, and younger brother 22. Last year I found my wife crying in her bedroom. I consoled her and she tells me she's pregnant. I was elated and explained her that's a great news. The color of her face changed and she tells me it is and leaves the room. It was weird. During that time I also found out about excessive time spending on phone. I took care of her alone, did the cooking and cleaning alone because COVID situation was high so no one could come in here. She gave birth to a healthy baby girl. She's just like her mother, adorable. Fast forward to last month and this month my brother used to frequently visit us, which I thought was fine until it got every day, but hey, he's my baby brother. This month we went to our parents to stay there for 2 weeks. I saw my wife getting awkwardly close to my brother. I was the primary breadwinner of both family. My father owned few shops which were under my direct control. I am an investment banker and apart from this we also have several housing that we rented out. So I stayed busy most of the time, but whenever I came home I saw my wife and brother spending time together, which was weird considering she was close to my sister before. I also see my sister spending time more with me. I can't this end something is up and sister wants to tell me something. I ask her several times but she assures me everything's alright. Last week my father asked me to spend some time with him fishing. Just me and him. I agreed, during which he tells me stories about fish and how he spent his time with his father here. He was on to praise me how good son I was and he's proud of me. I sense there's a bigger picture. He also tells me that he's disappointed in my brother because he has no goals set. He doesn't works, does pot, smokes and has an alcohol addict. My father wasn't very close to my younger brother but my mom was when we were leaving. He tells me he has to go somewhere, gives me the fishing kit in a small paper and leaves, telling me I should open the paper after he has left. When I opened the paper my entire world turns upside down. It was a DNA test. I'm not the father to my daughter. I rushed to my family home, everyone was there and confront my wife and brother. They both accepted and apologized to me, telling it was a mistake. I further find out it has been going on for a year and they both love each other. Wife consoles me saying that she can't change what happened and she will always be sorry for me. I'm a perfect husband, father, son, but I couldn't be a good lover because I spend excessive time outside, mind you people. I take her to vacation twice a year, date nights once or twice a month, we get intimate twice or thrice a week. Always asked her if she was alright. She could have told me once, she could have talked my sister. Chimes in and tells me she knew and she couldn't bring herself to tell me. Hearing of the commotion my mom comes with the baby. She explains me that she can't change the outcome. My wife and brother already have a baby together, my son grew attached to it. I should accept it and move on. I was the older brother and I should forgive them. I call her out and told her how can my own family betray me like that. I told my wife I don't need a wife or can I have to compete with other men despite her being my wife. Told her she will get the divorce papers and told my backstabbing brother that I always stood up for him and now he is the one to backstab me and left this place. My phone was blowing up. My father told me he is with me but he can't say anything openly due to my mother. He tells me he's sorry for being a bad father. Also told me my mom knew about the affair, she just didn't spoke about it. I told him I don't care. I don't need a family that stabs me in the back and he can gladly cut me off from the family after divorce. I haven't told her family yet. My SDBXW calls me every day 100+ times, text me my son misses me. My brother hasn't reached out to me yet. My sister apologized to me, telling me she should have but she couldn't be a good sister and that I'm the role model for her. She is always proud to have me. I haven't replied to them at all. My mother called me to tell me we all make mistakes and we could be a family again if I decide to forgive. She hinted that my children needs a father figure and if I can't be there, there's my brother to take care of my family. Told me the court won't give me custody and if she stands up for them things might go wrong for me. That infuriated me and I blocked her. Haven't talked to any of them the past 2 days. Divorce can be expensive in here but it is what it is. I haven't told anyone about this. Haven't slept well, can't eat anything. I feel like I've lost my reason to live. In just a week, I've lost everything. My family. My wife and kids, my dignity, everything. I feel like dying because there's no purpose to my life. At least now. Edit. I talked to the lawyer. I just have to file RN. Lawyers said I have to pay spousal support. Getting the primary custody will be hard. About the establishment of parent for my daughter, I love her even though she's not my daughter. It will take a long time to get it finalized. Divorce here is expensive. I'm looking at around $1,900 a month as spousal support for her and daughter, 50/50. Custody, my son, and half the asset. I also noticed I wrote DNA test. Sorry, it was paternity test of my daughter and brother. It confirmed 99%. Yes, my brother was 7 when me and my wife got married. I know it's a disgusting fact. Update. This is a small update to my situation. I thought things would be better with time. But it instead turned worse. To anyone wondering, see my earlier post. I left the house after finding out and got my finances in order, met lawyers, and started divorced proceedings. I got the papers this Friday. Wife came over. We had a talk. She told me she doesn't want a divorce for our son. She apologizes and acknowledged her fault. I tell her I want a divorce regardless and give her the papers. She had the audacity to initiate like, oh, I was going to give in. I told her to leave after that. This Saturday, my sister who lives in Netherlands came here for vacation, left early after this SHD show, verbally destroying my wife and mother. She called me and we had a talk. She apologized on her part. She was put in a conflicted position as mom begged her not to tell me. She told me mom was worried about my health and how would I react. Also that my younger brother coerced mom into doing this. Things got a lot clearer after that, but regardless, it doesn't make me feel any better. Many of you knocked me saying this is fake. I hope it was. You can choose to believe it actually happened and my like is a right now in where I can't do anything. It's breaking apart everything that I held dear or ignore it. Whatever. I also met my son spending the day with him on Saturday, taking him to a gaming zone. That's really popular in here. He tells me he knows, my mom weeps every day, his mom my wife, she's just lost. She doesn't know what to do, conflicted. I found out later, another reason, my younger brother just smokes pot and drinks alcohol. Doesn't take up his responsibilities. Sister and I already agreed we are taking our names off from the family and we do not want any of the inheritance. I'm going to cut off myself from the family, move to a different country. My sister already told me she can help if I choose to move to Netherlands. That might be my destination now after a year of divorce. It isn't easy, days are long and hard, especially when you think about the incident. I've lost count of how many times I've threw up. My BP is low tremendously as well as my super levels. Yesterday afternoon, my father called and told. My mom's in the hospital. She suffered a bad stroke and collapsed in table during lunch. Her condition isn't very great. Dad told me she wants to meet me, doctor told us to pray. Her condition isn't good enough to get her discharged. Wife is handling everything for now. My brother is just visiting for a few hours and leaving. My newborn daughter is with wife in the hospital along with my son and dad. Dad told me this might be it. He wants me to visit it. I've told my sister, she's conflicted about it, I'm being honest. part of me wants to visit her, but the majority part doesn't. She's my mother no matter what, but she chose to betray me. She chose to hurt me. She chose to support my wife instead of me. It wasn't the cheating that was bothering me. It wasn't that my wife slept with my brother and chose him over me. It was all the betrayals that my family did. It was all that everyone knew and no one chose to tell me. It was that my own mother prioritized her other son, threatened me to cut me off from the family. Now suddenly she's in the hospital and she wants to meet me. I'm not at all doing great or happy regarding this. I think is suicide every day. Therapists suck. They don't do anything else other than vent or actually help you. They're a waste of money. Many of my relatives visited Mom in the hospital. Word of my wife's affair got out to a few close relatives. My favorite uncle absolutely destroyed her right in the hospital. By calling her and my brother the most vile things. Dad told me this. It took my teenage son to get my uncle into senses and regain calmness. It's entirely at S show. I've talked to a few friends. They're advising me to divorce, move on, shift to another country, and settle down with someone else. I don't know nothing. I don't have any plans 'cause right now. I just can't. I can't plan anything. I talked to my lawyer too. He told me I can get my share of inheritance if my mother didn't create a will. I can't get it if I resign my inheritance. Or if she cuts me off. Nothing of that sort happened. I don't have any interest in inheritance, money, family. I just want my son so I can escape this God-forsaken family and just be sane. As for the paternity, it's going to be tougher than divorce itself. Cheating isn't a deal-breaker or a trump card in most countries. But being a psalm is, and it can destroy you in many ways. However, if I can leak my inheritance share, it might give me an upper hand. And I might not have to pay spousal support. But it all depends on mutual agreement. I found out I can also lodge a complaint in my country at Hens to Fair Partner. Which in this case is my brother. As my son is minor, I can also get a restraining order against my wife and my brother for my son. Because the use of alcohol drugs is frowned upon in my country. So I do have some hope, but currently I'm torn between my mother's condition. I can't believe what 3 weeks can do to you. It honestly is the lowest point of my life. The only thing that holding me back is my son. Now look at some comments. Yikes. I'm sorry that things spiraled so far out of hand for you. But it looks like you're handling things pretty well. All things considered. You're honestly making pretty rational decisions, better than I would be if I was in your shoes. Getting your affairs in order is really all you can do at this point. And I'm sorry your family members are being such people. Initiating and completing the divorce and putting some distance between you and your family. Send me the best decision to make. I cannot express how sorry I am for you. Only advice I would offer is leave majority of this mess in the hands of your lawyer. Only worry about the things you can control and take care of your son. Distance yourself from this mess for your own mental health. Do something that you like: fish, travel, sports. Don't do alcohol or drugs that will just spiral down. It will get better. Trust me. First, get off of the alcohol. This week. Second, take the money and run and never look back. Third, you got some of your together, so take that and go to your sister. The only direct relation who actually gives an effective from your son. Fourth, get yourself professional support for the emotional turmoil you are no doubt feeling. As a person who got abandoned, while their parents fought whilst having a kind of divorce. I mean actual hand-to-hand fighting. One of the best thing you can do is to support and be with your son. You can be honest with him and he'll appreciate it. He's probably scared as what the hell is going on. Some chill with dad would be very cool right now. Even just grabbing some McDonald's or something. Also, don't mention my daughter, it's not yours. It's your wife's and your brother. Since she is a newborn, don't see her as your daughter now onwards, otherwise, it will become difficult for you to leave her.